Welcome back to Common Magic, guys. Today I'm going to put out a little video for those of you who are just getting into Magic. I've received a lot of questions, a lot of comments, a lot of messages, I guess, would be the easiest way to say it, asking me where I learned how to do some of the stuff. Where did I find all these cards? I even had a question: do I know all the cards in Magic? And the answer to that is hell no. I don't know all those cards in Magic. It is ridiculous if you do. But there are a few websites you can go to. There are a few things you can learn, and I'm hoping to share some knowledge with you guys. Okay, so this is again for the people that are just starting in Magic, or if you already know Magic but are just really trying to get into it and don't know any of these. Well, this is for you guys too. Um, like I told you guys before, I did take a huge hiatus off of Magic when I first started. I started playing in high school, then I took about 4 or 5 years off, which means I missed a lot of expansions. And so what I wanted to do was when I wanted to get back into it, I asked my cousin, "Hey, what's going on with the Magic scene?" Because he never really left it, and he told me you need to go to a website if you're trying to rebuild this stuff. You really need to go to a website, and he gave me the website's address, and all these links will be in the description. And the first one he sent me to was the Gatherer. Okay, it's off the Wizards of the Coast website. Again, this is their stuff. I'm not taking credit for any of this stuff. So here it is, and here it is. It's right here. The Gatherer, the Magic card database. Once you get that opened up, get that going. You can search for anything and everything from names, card types, text. If you know like a certain word that's in the text, you can search for that. The format, the card set, the card types. You can even search by expansion. Okay, so let's walk through mine. I'm going to take you step by step for me. And let's say I'm looking for elves. Remember, long hiatus, looking for elves. What new elves are out there, right? So I'm looking for elves. But I only want the types of elves, not just text, just types. And I only want them in green. So I'm going to search. And it's going to bring up a lot of elves that are green. All right, so you got these elves here. Now this is cool, but it's just random. They're by collector's numbers. If you guys know collector's numbers, that's great. I don't. I know mana cost, and that's what I'm going to look for. So I'm going to sort by mana cost, and it's going to bring up everything, from least to greatest. And here they are. The cool thing about this is it not only gives you the name of the card, what it does, a little brief thing here, it also gives you the expansion. So that's pretty cool. You can find a lot of elves that you didn't even know existed here. You can find a lot of cards you didn't even know existed, and that's the beauty of this place. When I first got back into it, like I said, I took a long break, so all these new things I had never even heard of. Right, I'm back in the day with Elvish Lyrist and things like that, but then all this new stuff came out. I'm like, this is some cool shit. Like this one. This one's new. Georgia, sorry, excuse me. Tree Speaker. This is one of those old Eldrazi cards. It's a leveler. It's a leveler. You can level it up. Don't know how many of you have seen this or whatever, but I have never seen it. So here it is. This is what it does. Yay. Okay. But now let's go back for me. I'm looking for cool shit. Hey, Georgia Warcaller. I like what he does here. I like that he pumps. You can, do whatever you can. Whatever. You get the idea. Now, unfortunately, from here, you can't buy straight from this website. And if you're going to buy cards, the first place I suggest you go is to your local Magic dealer. Go to wherever you play Friday Night Magic at. Go to wherever you buy your boosters at. Um, if you can support your small town or your town's Magic group, it'll keep them in business longer. And their prices might be a little higher, but I mean it's still a business. You gotta understand that. But they'll also be willing to trade with you. They'll also be willing to work with you if you build up a rapport with them. They're willing to cut you some deals and stuff like that. So always take advantage of that. But if you can't, if they don't have any, if you live in a place that doesn't really sell Magic, you can only get your stuff online, then here are a couple places you can go. First one I like to go to is Star City Games. Star City Games here has a huge website of a bunch of different stuff. They're great. You can sell us your cards. Cool. You can buy packs. You can do whatever you need to do here. But let's, for our sake, for the video, we're just going to search for a card. And we're going to search for Georgia Warcaller. Hit go right here. And here it is. It's going to bring up every card and even different languages as well. So you'll freak out when you can buy like a Chinese Georgia Warcaller. Like, hey, cool, whatever. So let's buy the promo. Let's look at the promo one because we're badass. And here it is. It's the Georgia Warcaller promo. Obviously, you can see there. It's 199. There's 64 in stock. Blah 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 blah. Now keep in mind this is just how much the card cost, not how much shipping and everything, handling and all that stuff is going to be. But I will say this: they ship really fast. They ship really good. Their customer service is great. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I'm not looking for a sponsorship. I'm not looking for anything like that. These are just websites that I like to go to myself that I use personally. Okay. Now for some reason, let's just say they don't have 64. They're out. They're completely done. Where else do you go? ABU Games. I think that stands for Alpha Beta Unlimited. I'm thinking, not too sure. Again, you can you can search by expansions. You can promo cards, anything over here. It's all good. Or you can search for singles, and that's what we're looking for again here. It's gonna be the same thing. Type in Georgia Warcaller, search, and here it is again. See here, you're going to find the same prices. Now, it's not always going to be the same. Some's going to be cheaper, some are going to be less, and it's just back and forth, comparison shop, guys. Do your research on the card. And you can find them for good prices. You can find them for cheap. Again, check with your local place first and then check these. That's just me, because when you buy them from your local place, you don't have to pay shipping. You know what I mean? So it's great. Now, I know there's some people that will live and die by the good old eBay. Right, here we go, ebay.com. Ta-da! And then you can do the same thing, search for Georgia Warcaller. And you might be able to find these cheaper here. You might be able to find them at a deal. Pay attention to the time, how many bids, and then really look into the seller. Look into what you're buying and where you're buying it from, and the shipping cost. Pay attention to that. Now, for you younger guys, make sure your parents are okay with this. Don't just go out and get the credit card and do whatever you need to do. No, make sure your parents are okay with this. Make sure you're buying it with permission. Be smart, guys. You don't want to give Magic a bad name. Okay. So again, this is a place you can go. You can get them here. I personally don't recommend it. I've had some bad experiences with some guys that I bought cards from that didn't come in the right condition, and I never had those two problems with Star City Games or ABU. Okay, so it is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. So again, if you're looking for cards that you haven't heard of, you're looking just to build the deck, you go to the Gatherer. Okay, this will give you the most extensive card database out there. If you're looking to buy the cards, go to your place first, support your local Magic store, or go to Star City Games, ABU Games, eBay, whatever, Amazon, or trade with your friends. Okay, I would really recommend, though, before you do anything, if you're younger than 13 or 14 or whatever, if you don't have your own money, make sure you get your parents' permission before you do any of this. Okay, so remember, shop at your guys' local Magic store, then hit up online. Trade with your friends. It's all good. All right, so just a little bit of news coming up. I am going to be bringing you guys another budget video. It's going to be on how to get the most out of your cards, when to trade them, when to sell them, when to hold them, all the good stuff. What else? I think that's about it. Let me know if this helped you guys. If you know any other websites that are really good that can give you pretty good Magic tips and expansions and stuff like that, let me know. Quick note on the Gatherer, though. Quick note. When you're looking for types and text and stuff like that, you can search for words like mill. Mill doesn't exist. It's a word that we use, but it's not used in the Magic terminology. Sorry. So you're not going to bring up anything with mill. Okay, and things like that the players call, but technically it isn't really a term. So be careful when you're looking for that. Okay, guys. Other than that, keep it here to Common Magic. Again, I'm bringing you another budget video, hopefully sometime this week, if not early next week. And I shall see you guys later, sirs.